before he exits the stage, please give Ray Lavender from the 12th grade a huge round of applause. Thank you, Ray. That was great. Good evening, everybody. My name is Bill Librera, and I'm the proud principal here at Watchung Hills Regional High School. To begin tonight's event, we thought it would be helpful for all the returning families and even the newcomers to watch a video created by a local realty company to provide a glimpse into what it is to be a Watchung Hills warrior.
I think our school is very unique where we are a large high school, but we make it feel small with all our offerings and our relationships. Our students come down the hall, they talk to our teachers, they talk to one another, and the size of our school allows us to offer so many different things that maybe some other schools don't have the flexibility of space or faculty to do. Watchung Hills is a comprehensive high school, and that means that we receive students from over a region. So we serve 4 different middle schools that come to our high school. Those are Warren, Watchung, Long Hill, and Greenbrook. So all of our students, we're all going through that same experience of getting to know each other and have the opportunity to learn and to meet new friends. I think we are able to accomplish a lot of things here that make us stand out, because not only are we fantastic in the core curriculum classes, we do have some unbelievable electives and offerings for our students to get immersed and to experiment so that they have the opportunity to open doors for them for the future years. What's great about our school is students don't come in with a game plan that this is going to be the only things that they can do. They have the ability to author their selections of courses, and each year the opportunities grow within the electives that they can take. We really pride ourselves on in-classroom experience here at Watchung Hills Regional High School, but at the same time we understand that there is so much to learn outside the classroom, and one way to do that is through our vibrant club offerings. We have around 60 club offerings annually that vary in interest levels and that come from student input. And what they range from is serving the community, bettering themselves in other different ways, or just topical events that are really passionate for our youth today. Our math club won state champion of the year. We have tremendous music performances annually. Our arts department is annually winning awards. If there is something that we do it to a great ability, but also we're not necessarily focused on achievements. We don't chase results. What we want to do is make sure that our process is correct, because once you have a great process and a foundation, you tend to achieve results. Seeing our student body support our athletic teams at big events and just seeing the school spirit that exists within Watchung Hills is an opportunity for really me to reflect and to know that I am in a great district. The staff here at Watchung Hills Regional High School is absolutely amazing. They transform, they work, they care for our students. They are here because they want to help students achieve and to grow. And one of the amazing things about education is that extraordinary things happen on ordinary days. Whether it's inside the classroom, through our club offerings, or our athletic teams, they have the ability to get involved in so many different ways here, find out things about themselves that they might not have known if they had just stayed within one lane. And that is why we want to make sure that we are listening to the needs of the students, the families, but also be receptive of what else is going on in job markets and in the colleges, and just to make sure that our students are prepared to take that next step. Our students leave Watchung Hills with confidence because they've been able to navigate their own path, choose things that they have interest in, and accomplish great things here.
A huge thank you to the Weininger Realty Company for making that video. And like I said in that video, Watchung Hills is a very special place, and we are excited to welcome you to that family. Tonight you will have that opportunity to hear from many of our administrators, and I'm sure you will find the presentation informative and engaging. Currently, we are in the third year of a 5-year strategic plan, which is board approved, and we can confidently say that your child will be the beneficiaries of our commitment to improvement in all aspects of our high school, including academic, social, and post-secondary planning. Our school mission, as I said in some of that video, is to enhance, encourage, and empower. And we believe that through a collaborative partnership, students have the opportunity to become their best selves during their time here at Watchung Hills. It is our collective responsibility to continue to dedicate time and resources to ensure that we are always improving the instructional and co-curricular experience for all our students. On a personal note, I know what it feels like to be in those chairs tonight. I've been to 2 of them for my own house. And I know tonight you're going to have a lot of information about offerings and other details presented to you. But rest assured, you don't have to take notes. We are recording this video, and it will be presented and displayed on our website, so you can always refer back to anything that you have any questions. But if you do have any questions, I encourage you to reach out to any of the administrators here tonight, and we can do our best to answer anything that still is a little unclear. But if I have the opportunity to have you have one takeaway this evening, it's to know that we have a great team here at Watchung Hills. We're looking forward to partnering with you and your child. And as a parent, I know that these high school years go by so quickly, so I urge you to make sure you enjoy this time. And now I would like to turn the microphone over to our Director of Special Services, Ms. Michelle DeReamer.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Michelle DeReamer. I'm the Director of Special Services here at Watchung Hills. With that title comes that I get to oversee the special education and the health office. I'm going to give you a brief overview of our special education programs that we offer here at the high school. So we offer an in-class resource support program, which is 2 teachers, otherwise known as co-teaching, in a general education classroom. 1 special education teacher and 1 general education teacher work together supporting the class. Our other program that we have is called the Resource Center, which is a pull-out resource center program for students that need more modifications and also a smaller class size and maybe a slower pace with the curriculum. The last program offering we have is our Career Academic Resource Experience, which is also known as our CARES program. This is for students that have a focus on functional educational skills and also activities of daily living. Here at the high school, we have 7 members for our child study team. We have 3 school psychologists, 2 learning disability teaching consultants, and 2 social workers. Up here is my contact information. There's also a link to our special services webpage where we offer information for parents, other support groups, and also information on our CPAG. Now it's my turn to introduce Mr. Jim Aquavia, our supervisor of English.
Hi, everyone. The work of English class each year at Watchung Hills is to help students think critically and communicate effectively. We advance this goal by reading, writing, and thinking about the core texts of the course and by making important connections among them. We ask, in what ways do these books cast light on each other? What questions do they raise? What do they teach us about worthwhile ideas, about the world, about ourselves, and about uses of language to argue, to inform, to entertain, and to enlighten? The 9th grade syllabus is made up of these core texts, and they're connected by a theme, a common theme of journeys of growth and development. Students encounter characters both ancient and contemporary in fiction, poetry, drama, and nonfiction who leave home literally and figuratively, encounter obstacles, develop insight, and create a new understanding of themselves, some new way of seeing themselves in the world. 9th grade classes here at Watchung Hills consist of an instructional core of these 7 works of literature includes several thesis-driven essays, multiple short written responses, vocabulary study each marking period. The course provides students with a strong foundation for higher order reading, writing, and thinking across the content areas, and it engages students in multiple individual conferences with their teachers over the course of the year to discuss each student's writing. Students are required here at the high school to take an English class each year for graduation. We offer 3 levels of study: college preparatory, accelerated, and honors, with AP courses offered during students' sophomore and junior years. This is the guide used by grade 8 English teachers to recommend an appropriate level of study for each new 9th grader. The purpose of the 8th grade English teacher's recommendation is to ensure the most suitable placement for each student. It's entirely appropriate that this is where the recommendation is made. These are the folks who know students best and their level of performance the best. And we revisit these placements each year around the start of the 2nd semester. In fact, teacher conferences with individual students about level recommendations for next year are taking place currently. English department electives provide students the opportunity to take a deeper dive into material that they might really enjoy, with instructors who have specialized knowledge and experience. The electives available to 9th graders are Creative Writing 1, Journalism 1, and Comics and the Graphic Novel. Creative writing and journalism have been terrific through lines for students to move into leadership positions as editors and staff for the Folio Literary Magazine and for the WHRHS student newspaper. We post the summer reading assignments and share it with middle schools after the spring recess. And our intention with summer reading is to engage students with high interest books that they can read independently with success. In closing, 9th grade English is a foundational course. It's one in which students develop confidence and knowledge and skill with teachers who are approachable and who are focused on helping them make a smooth transition to the high school. The course engages students in the kinds of reading, writing, research, and inquiry that support their learning across each of the content areas. Thanks for your attention. Mrs. Anita Bick will speak with you next about social studies.
Good evening. Okay. I wanted to talk to you tonight about our social studies courses, and particularly the sequence that we have for the 3 required years of social studies. Next year, all of your students will be taking World History, which is our 9th grade course, followed by 2 years of U.S. History, and then we have a number of electives that we can offer and hope that your child will be interested in taking. I started off showing you here the focus of study for the World History course. It's a real intensive, lot of content, lot of information. As you can see, we basically cover the entire world. And what our focuses are on Europe, but also throughout the rest of the world that we all have communications and contact with. As you can see, one of our big themes is globalization. A lot of the content that we cover focuses on how we interact with each other on all different levels. We get into not only the history of different areas, but the culture as well. Areas that students probably haven't really been exposed to prior to their 9th grade year. So in some ways it's a survey course, but it really will introduce students to new information, new cultures, and new ideas. So we are very excited that that's the first course that our 9th graders are being able to take here at the high school. As Mr. Aquavia mentioned with English, social studies is very different in the last 8, 10 years than many of you may be used to. We focus on using content to develop different skills. And it varies. There are obviously some standard skills. We want students to be good writers. We want them to be able to speak well, and this is especially true in recent years after students didn't have a lot of contact and didn't engage in a lot of discussion and debate. So that actually, in the last year or so, has been one of our prime focuses, just getting, especially for 9th graders, just getting them comfortable talking to each other and backing it up with the information that they're studying. But again, as Mr. Librera said, they're coming from 4 different schools. It's difficult as it is for them to be in classes with maybe people that they don't necessarily know real well. Top it off with what they experienced these last few years being at home. That really is important to us, that they develop their voice. And so that is one of the things that 9th grade teachers especially emphasize in the world history classes. We also focus a lot, especially in this day and age, on multiple perspectives and understanding and tolerance. And we give them the facts and the information and encourage them to talk it out with each other and to listen to other people's ideas and to share their thoughts and be open to others. And that's really, I guess it kind of comes down to making your children good citizens. And while the content is very valuable and we all love history in the department, we also see a larger purpose in helping your students really develop. And they can get those in our 3 subject areas, our 3 required subjects, but they can also get it in our electives, which I will explain to you as well. As you can see, and there's this common misconception that the grade you get in a particular course is going to be the end of it all, that's it. If you don't get such and such a grade, you're not able to move up a level, you have to move down, you have to stay. In social studies, we look at a lot of different things. Because we do so many skills, again, whether it's public speaking or writing or understanding the context, deep thinking, whatever it may be, reading comprehension, we factor that into our level making process. So while we do kind of have a standard, and obviously numbers are the easiest thing to see, we also are very open and we vary what we do based on your child's interest and abilities that we see in that year that we make decisions. As I mentioned, we have many, many electives. 3 of them are available for 9th graders next year. I will look especially at our newest course, our social justice course, which has been very, very popular. And I think it's a lot because your students, your children are interested in learning about others and in expressing their own thoughts. And we cover a lot of good topics in there. We also have Native American history, sociology. Often we offer Holocaust and genocide in the 9th grade as well. But as you can see, there are a lot of other courses as they get into their upper class years. So I appreciate you listening tonight. I'd like to introduce Mr. Dan Bertelli, who is our Supervisor of Arts and Co-Curricular.
Hi everyone, how are you doing tonight? Good, thank you very much. As Ms. Bick mentioned, in the Social Studies Department, they like to help the students develop their own voice. Well, here in the Arts Department, we like to do the same, except we like to have them develop their own artistic voice. In the Arts Department, we think every student in Watchung Hills is their own individual creative artist, and we like to highlight that fact in every class. Why study the arts? It can enable personal, intellectual, and social emotional growth. It can give the students a safe space to explore their ideas and emotions and express themselves as well through their artwork. In the Arts Department, we have a plethora of offerings. Here you can see all of the visual art offerings. To the ninth graders, the very top level are your choices. We offer foundational levels in drawing, painting, photography, graphic arts, ceramics, sculpture, jewelry, and crafts. To piggyback off that, we have intermediate levels of all of those subjects, and then those subjects filter into honors level as your students will progress through the curriculum. All pathways will then lead to the AP level, where students will get to develop their own body of work and explore their own concentration independently. As a state requirement, all students must complete 5 credits of visual performing arts in order to graduate from Watchung Hills. We also offer many performing arts classes. We offer instrumental classes in orchestra, wind ensemble, and concert band. We have levels in chorus, and we also have a state-of-the-art music technology lab where students learn how to play the electric guitar, the piano, or even learn to compose and record their own music and publish them on the interweb. We also offer courses in video production, cinema studies, theater, and wood arts, as well as a state-of-the-art kitchen stadium type kitchen in family consumer science. You saw them cooking some items in the video before, and here are some pictures of the kitchen as well. If you have any questions about your student entering 9th grade and their pathway in the arts, feel free to contact me at any time. I'll be happy to help you out. With that said, I would like to introduce my colleague, Mr. Brad Comerford, to talk about health, PE, and world languages.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'm going to be talking to you about our world language program. As you can see on the screen, these are the skills that we anticipate that all of our students are going to focus on in every language at every level. If you take a close look at it, these are skills that do not concentrate on conjugation of verbs, tenses. This is an active use of the world language, and that is the focus of all of our programs. Although those skills are still important, and they are particularly important in levels 1 and 2, where most of our freshmen come in, we want them to actively begin using their world language skills. That means we need to talk about proficiency. In world languages, what we're aiming for is an intermediate mid-level of proficiency by the time you have finished 4 years of a world language. And what does that look like? It looks like this. This is what you should be able to do at a given level, whatever level that is for you that you've reached, at level 4, level 5, or an AP level. You will not be able to give a dissertation in a world language at the end of 4 years of study, but you will be able to talk about familiar topics. You will be able to talk about everyday situations, create messages, send emails, text messages. You can do all of those things in your world language. In New Jersey, there are 2 requirements. Everybody graduates from New Jersey with 1 year of a world language requirement. Here at Watchung Hills, in order to graduate with our diploma, you need 2 years of a world language. And since we have a 4-year program, that means anything you take after your 2nd year of requirement becomes an elective. We have 4 course offerings in Chinese, French, Italian, and Spanish. We offer an array of types of courses, CP work in French and Spanish. We have accelerated and honors and AP work in all 4 of those languages. Our freshman students typically come in level 1 or a level 2, depending on their experience at their middle school. And once they come in, they come in with a recommendation from their middle school, and then we can apply as it going to be a college prep accelerated program. These are the groupings. This is typical, and you've heard this already from several people tonight. We offer college prep courses in in French and Spanish. This is where our masses go, and our 2 highly solicited languages are French and Spanish. Other courses, Chinese and Italian, offer accelerated work after level 1, and of course all 4 of them have AP and honors courses. Which one do you go into is going to depend on your experience, where you're coming from. For some people, it may be a heritage language, in which case they would be more advanced. Placement criteria. All right, we have no experience with your student as far as what their language ability is, so we put a lot of emphasis on the information that comes to us from the middle school. So there are several people that we are interested in hearing from. Your current world language teacher, if you have that experience at your middle school, what their opinion is as to what level you should go into or if you should change languages, your academic performance in other areas. The difference between college prep and advanced is going to be in place and rigor and in pacing. So what is it that you are used to? What kind of coursework are you used to doing? That is important. Your own self-assessment as the student coming in. What do you think you're capable of doing? And if you think you're capable of attempting something that you didn't attempt in middle school, that's fine. We love to see that. You can always try, and if you don't succeed, we will find an appropriate placement for you. And of course, your guidance counselor and your personal input as their parent. This is what our sequence looks like, and it's a lot. And for freshmen, it's rather limited. They come in level 1 or 2 of a language, typically. French and Spanish have different sequences from Chinese and Italian. We do offer CP work, like I said, in French and Spanish. And since Spanish is the most highly solicited language, we offer a CP track in the first 2 years, level 2 and level 3. And then we offer a course called Immersion and Culture. There's a part 1 and a part 2. So the idea behind that is a student who comes in CP, and again, it's where the masses are, that if they don't want to attempt honors and AP work after level 3, which they would have access to, they can continue with Immersion in Culture and gain 3 or 4 years of credit in world language while they're here. We do the same thing in Italian. Italian starts off with level 1. It's a non-weighted course, but then quickly moves to an accelerated level and then an honors level. And if they don't want to go to an honors level because of the pace and the rigor, we offer Italian Immersion in Culture. That can be taken 2 years in a row, and the content changes each year. Part of the world language program is also English as a second language, so we offer ESL courses to English language learners. Those are our ELL students, and we offer 3 different types of coursework in there for beginners, intermediate, and language immersion. They get acclimated until their language ability allows them to take regular coursework. If you have any particular questions about world language, your student coming in is a heritage speaker of a language, please reach out to me in an email. I will get back to you right away. And if you have an ESL student, that too, once they get here, if they haven't had placement from a middle school scenario, if we have a new student coming in as a freshman for the first time, everybody will be tested when they get here. Okay. I also supervise health and PE. Health for 9th graders is a requirement, and it's the first thing they encounter when they get here at the high school. So marking period 1 is going to be a health requirement. And in health, they have 4 main units that they discuss. The first one is mental health. That is a New Jersey state mandated program that we must offer, and it covers such things as depression, anxiety, suicide ideation, and signs and symptoms of suicide, and resources that we have in our community and within our school for someone who needs help with depression, anxiety, or suicide. We also discuss substance abuse and prevention. The emphasis is on opioids and other drugs, how they impact brain development, and particularly marijuana with the legality and illegality of marijuana as it stands in the state of New Jersey. We must understand that while you're in high school, it is illegal. So we do cover that with them to make sure everybody understands what the impact of that is while they're here at high school. We also have a unit on sexuality that covers consent and boundaries, setting boundaries with people. And finally, harassment, intimidation, and bullying. This is sexual harassment, and we discuss expectations of bullying, what that means, the definition of it, what to do if you see that situation, what to do if you experience that situation, and what our process and procedures are here in high school. After they complete their first marking period of health, which is the requirement, they move into physical education. And the concept of physical education here for all 4 years that they're in high school is to give them an understanding of what wellness means for them as young adults moving into their careers after high school. And hopefully that idea of wellness and how they need to maintain their physical and emotional wellness is something that they learn here and they will continue to grow with once they are outside of high school. We do cover several things. Wellness education is the first one that is up. This is discussing mind and body, strengthening and endurance programs, what are warm-ups, how we perform warm-ups, how to be injury-free in PE, and exercise for mental health activities. We also cover recreation education, which is team building, sportsmanship, and what it means to work with a unit of people. And then finally, sports education is discussing the skills and techniques you need in the different sport activities that we offer here. So we get into detail as to what they are, how they develop, the history behind them, and how you can apply them to new games that emerge. For example, pickleball is the big one now. So how did that come about? What are the new rules? What do they look like? And how you can develop new games over time, what you have to look for, and what are those parts of those games that you have to be interested in. Anyone has any questions on any of this, by all means, every year we publish on our Health and PE website the syllabi for all of the courses. So if you have a question as to what is being covered in health, particularly for the freshmen when they first come into the building, you can take a look at that information online, and then you can get more specific information on the teacher's individual Google Classroom page. And then by all means, contact any of us by email. We will get back to you. Thank you very much. The next person up will be Ms. Nicole Caro, and she is our Supervisor of Science.
Good evening. At Watchung Hills, our philosophy of science education is that students learn best by doing science. So one of our goals is for them to be able to view science as a way to explore, examine, and explain the world around them. All of our incoming ninth graders will take some level of biology. As has been mentioned earlier this evening, we have college prep level, accelerated level, and honors level biology. And all of our incoming ninth graders will read the book The Martian for their summer reading by Andy Weir. And this is actually a very interesting read if you haven't read it for yourself yet. But we actually use some of the content from this book for biology, chemistry, and physics while they're here at the high school. For our placement criteria, we use the current 8th grade science teacher recommendation, and it's based on the student's academic performance. So in the state of New Jersey, students are required to take 15 credits of science. At Watchung Hills, we provide students with a sequence so that in 9th grade they take biology, in 10th they take chemistry, and in 11th grade they take physics. However, it should probably be noted that most of our students take more than those required 3 years of science. In a moment, I'll show you a list of all of the electives that we have for students that can kind of support them on their journey through 9 through 12. There is science testing that occurs in the state of New Jersey, and it's actually comprehensive. So students would be assessed on everything they've learned in high school. That assessment is called the NJSLA Science, and this occurs for students towards the end of their 11th grade year everywhere in the state. So I think this slide can be really overwhelming, but I'm so proud of it. If we look at all of the opportunities that our students at Watchung Hills have in science and engineering, I think it's extraordinary. And I think part of the reason why it looks like this is because our students have a high interest in these topics. The 3 that you see highlighted at the top are electives that are open for 9th grade. I also want to mention that all 3 of those electives, Introduction to Engineering Design A, Robotics A, and CAD Architecture, CAD is Computer Aided Design, all 3 of those electives can actually count towards the student's 21st century life and careers requirement. You can see underneath, I've listed all of these science and engineering electives that students can take as they progress through grades 10, 11, and 12. So as students take biology, chemistry, and physics, sometimes they realize, and I think it's a big point of their high school experience, they realize what they like, they realize what they're good at, what they're interested in, and so our goal is to provide them with opportunities to kind of dig deeper into those. On the right side here, you'll see more of our engineering electives. So that Introduction to Engineering Design A that's available to our freshmen is a gateway course to courses like Principles of Engineering A, Digital Electronics A, and CAD Architecture would be a prerequisite for Civil Engineering and Architecture A. The last set of electives you see are our advanced placement courses in science. And this is AP Biology, AP Chemistry, AP Environmental Science, and AP Physics C, Mechanics, and Electricity and Magnetism. My contact information is here on this screen, so if you have any questions at the end of tonight, please feel free to contact me at any time. I'm happy to help. And at this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Michael D'Alessio, our Director of Mathematics, Business, and Assessment.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming this evening to listen to us about our 8th grade presentation. My name is Michael D'Alessio, the Director of Math, Business, and Assessment at the high school. So the Mathematics Department has a very strong curriculum that goes beyond the standards that you would normally see in the state of New Jersey. We do that with the help of the teacher, parent, and student coming together to try to make it a successful time here at Watchung Hills in mathematics. I encourage you at the beginning of the year, the school year, to reach out to your son or daughter's teacher and let them know that you're interested in how they're doing and want updates from them and so forth, because I think the parent relationship with our teachers is very important, and I've seen where that has really helped our 9th graders get off to a very good start in their 9th grade year in math. If you want to get into the good graces of your son and daughter at the end of their 8th grade graduation, I suggest for technology that you purchase them a TI-84 Plus calculator. I think that would be a great graduation gift for them, because that's really going to help them in their 4 years here. As soon as students come to Watchung Hills, we do embrace calculator technology with them, whether they're in Algebra 1, Geometry, or Algebra 2. The calculator is a piece of technology, and if you've ever worked with a TI-84 Plus or higher, the amount of number crunching you can do with that is very important for students. So this is a big technology push right away. Students do math at Watchung Hills. They explain their math. Maybe different than when math we took when we were in high school. They're required to explain answers, explain wrong answers, explain right steps. All part of the New Jersey State Learning Standards. And I'm proud to say that last year, the students who are on our math team placed first in the state of New Jersey. They have a long-standing tradition here of being in the top 10 for Math League. All students are invited to participate in that, independent of what math they're taking their freshman year. So this is an example of some of the course offerings for 9th graders. Really, the first 3 courses that you see are the offerings. The first is Algebra 1. So if your student is in a pre-algebra class or a Math 8 class right now, they'll come into the high school taking Algebra 1 next year. If they're in Algebra 1, they could place into Geometry or a Geometry class in the 9th grade year. Some students who are taking Geometry in the 8th grade will take Algebra 2 in the 9th. Following that sequence, you go to pre-calculus and calculus, and that's really where the math kicks in beyond the state standards. We're looking to obviously have students who go to calculus learn at a high level, whether it's at the AP or non-AP. And again, the sequence depends on the appropriate placement. Students need to be appropriately placed in mathematics because that could be a struggle for the 9th grade year if they're not, and we don't want that. We want them to come into the 9th grade, have a positive experience. Although in the state of New Jersey, you're only required 3 years of mathematics, we strongly urge 4 years, and we have plenty of courses that allow students to take 4 years of math. So don't have your students stop at the 3rd year. We really encourage 4. The presentation, which will be posted online, will have a link to all courses that are on the math department website, so you can see this progression and some of the ability groupings in a little bit more in depth, because this is just one type of kind of sequence. So we actually have many computer science courses at Watchung Hills, and we have a new course coming up this year called Foundations of Computer Science. It's a half-year course, and it's designed for students who've never taken a computer science course at all, who know nothing about maybe how the internet works, how coding works, how just simply a computer works. They're good with clicking and going on their phone and doing those things, but the intricacies of computer science are something that a lot of students are not experienced with, and we want that experience to be in a very an environment that allows them to learn it. So this Foundations of Computer Science course is a half-year course that we encourage freshmen to take as an elective. They also can take a course called Introduction to Mobile Apps, where they will learn to make a mobile app. Beyond that, we have several different computer science courses, including AP Computer Science Principles. Our AP CSP teacher just won the Female Diversity Award from the College Board. We encourage both young men and women to take computer science, and she does a really good job of encouraging that, and the award is a tribute to the students here. We have a cybersecurity course, AP Computer Science A, which is the real coding course that you would see at the AP level, and then Intermediate Applications of Computer Science A, which is a half-year coding course. So we offer a lot of different computer sciences for students to take at the high school. So placement criteria, as you've been hearing all night long, is based on the 8th grade teacher recommendation, based on multiple factors, but the most important being on academic performance. The 8th grade teachers are going to use the academic performance to give the students the best idea of where they should be placed at the 9th grade level. We do not recognize summer courses for credit or for advancement. That's just something we don't recognize here, and many schools don't. And the calculator policy, that little gift you're going to get everybody for their 8th grade graduation, is on my website, or at the math department website, and it'll lead you to the type of calculator you should purchase. I think they're on sale now at Amazon. So, some other courses that we have in the math and computer science electives include probability, advanced math with trig, algebra 3. Our AP courses are AP Statistics, AP Computer Science A, AP Computer Science Principles, and of course, AP Calculus AB or BC. And we offer a multivariable calculus also, which is our last honors calculus class at the high school. So part of my job here is testing and the assessment for students, so they'll get to know me very well for state tests and AP testing. So just to give you a background there, students do take Start Strong tests here, similar to the ones they've taken in the 7th and 8th grade, NJSLA Math and Language Arts tests, the NJGPA, which is currently the 11th grade graduation requirement, both in mathematics and English Language Arts. Advanced placement courses, obviously, that we offer here, and AccuPlacer, which is a test for many college placement exams. Many colleges use the AccuPlacer, a college board test, and we can give that to students free of charge here. And if their college takes the score, that's great, but they can also practice the AccuPlacer with us. The business department at Watchung Hills has a robust set of courses in the fields of business, accounting, and business technology. Again, this will have a link to the business department webpage. This is a picture of some of the FBLA awards Future Business Leaders of America awards that our students have won in the past year. So business credits-wise, the business courses offer 5 credits of 21st century learning and careers. We do have a 2.5 credit course on personal finance that is an online course for all 11th graders. They will be automatically enrolled in that course and take it online. Our current 11th graders started it about 2 weeks ago. It's usually for the second half of the year of their 11th grade year, and it's our only online course. They work at their own pace. I think it's a good introductory course for students for when they go on to college and may take an online course and having to work at their own pace with it. Like I said, it is a New Jersey state requirement. Some of our 9th grade business selectives include accounting. I could put Computer Science A up there because our Computer Science A course is taught by a teacher in the business department. Entrepreneurship, sports management, digital marketing, stock market investing. Lots of different courses for students to choose. We encourage 9th graders to look at these courses, choose courses that they have an interest in, and go from there. If you have any questions, you can always contact me directly at the school through email or give me a call. And thank you for coming out this evening. I think I'm reintroducing Mr. Dan Bertelli. He always comes up twice for some reason every year, but he's going to talk to you a little bit about co-curriculars.
I might have to look into see if Mr. DeLessio owns stock in the TS-184S calculators. TI, sorry. Thank you, Mr. DeLessio. My name is Dan Bertelli. I also supervise the clubs and activities here at the high school. Many of the supervisors were up here speaking about how proud they were of their offerings. I'm so very proud of the arts offerings here at the high school, and I also feel like we offer the most opportunities in co-curricular activities in the state. Many times in meetings that I have with other supervisors from other schools, they're surprised about how many offerings we have. I could talk about every club, but we'd be here for 3 more hours, okay? You can go on the school's website. We have over 65 clubs in all of these categories. We have many opportunities from student leadership, student government, mock trial, robotics, computer science. We have clubs in the arts with the theater program, shameless plug, Singing in the Rain, March 9th, 10th, and 11th, right here in the PAC. I find that students in the high school make most of their friend groups in the clubs. It is very important to encourage your freshmen to attend many club meetings in their first year. They don't have to commit a life sentence to the club. They can go to 1 or 2 meetings to find out if they're interested or not, okay? The opportunities are endless, and it is only what the students make of it. So please encourage them to try new things, whether it's in the arts, in any of the subject matters here, or in the co-curriculars. Watchung Hills offers such a well-rounded education and offers a lot of opportunities for our students that there is something for everyone. So if your student in September does not know what he or she is interested in, please direct them to my office, and I'd be certainly happy to have a conversation with them to help them find something that they're into. Next up, Mr. Jason Sabino is going to talk to you about school counseling. Mr. Sabino?
Good evening, everyone. I'm a little shorter than Dan, so I apologize. I have to adjust the mic here. Good evening, and thank you for coming again. With all the information that was shared tonight, I'm glad I have an opportunity to speak in front of you all and just review the supports that are available to the students here. So again, if those I haven't had the pleasure to meet, I'm Jason Sabino, and I'm the Director of School Counseling here at Watchung Hills. So as you'll see here, we offer a range of supports for students at Watchung Hills that are superior, I would say, to a lot of offerings that other schools are able to afford, as Mr. LeBear mentioned at the start. We are grateful to have these supports in areas of, obviously, academic supports. So certainly students, it's not a surprise to anybody here, may need some support when they're transitioning to high school, and we are able to provide support to students with those types of more common things such as that. In addition to that, we provide opportunities for strategies for students to excel in their academic coursework with the range of offerings that we have here. As Mr. Bertelli mentioned, exploring co-curricular offerings while they're here and really diving into some areas of things that they may want to consider to utilize and get involved with while they're here. Also, there's a number of enrichment opportunities both in the school and that we know of in the community and beyond that we want to make sure that we support students on becoming aware of while they're in high school. Certainly, while they're here, it'll go quickly, as all of us know who have gone through high school. It'll go quick, and we want to make sure that we start from the freshman year really speaking about post-secondary readiness and really just discussing and exploring different areas of interest that students can explore through our diverse course offerings. In addition, of course, in 2023, we provide a number of social and emotional supports for students. So please know that we have a dedicated and trained team of professionals here at Watchung Hills to help with all of those diverse needs. The team is comprised of some school counselors who do provide, work day in and day out with all of our students to provide these necessary supports, as I mentioned. But in addition to that, we have student assistance counselors who work to provide another layer of support to our students. They do so both by meeting individually with students, with student groups. They are often seen in classrooms, providing presentations in the health offerings, and also they provide evening presentations for parents. They'll offer presentations throughout the year. In addition to that, we have a partnership with Rutgers UBHC, which provides school-based clinical support for any students assessed to need that level of support as well. Please be on the lookout for details regarding an evening presentation for the class of 2027 parents in May that will review healthy strategies to support a smooth transition to high school. So that'll be an opportunity for introduction to hear more about our Rutgers school-based programs and also obviously to get some healthy tips while working with your soon-to-be ninth grader on some strategies to work on the remaining time in eighth grade and over the summer. This evening, I really wanted to highlight the resources available for the next steps in the process that we discussed tonight, including the scheduling the academic courses for your class of 2027 students. So new this year for the incoming class of 2027, parents will have access to review ninth grade recommendations through our Watchung Hills Regional High School Genesis Parent Portal. So those of you who may have some older students that have gone through here, you may remember there's a paper form that would go home and you would see your child's recommendations for high school. We are going paperless in 2023 here, and we are going to then have all of this information available through the Watchung Hills Regional High School Genesis Parent Portal. So in order to access that, we'll be sending out a lot of detailed information in mid-February with a letter, going over this, as well as step-by-step instructions on how to navigate through Genesis. But just please know, I know a number, if not all, of our sending districts do have their own Genesis Parent Portal logins. This will be unique, and this will be a separate login access to our Watchung Hills Regional High School Genesis. So again, information to follow, but I did want to get any chance to get ahead in front of you all and let you know of that change. Of course, as was mentioned throughout this evening's presentation, the recommendations that we utilize to make course selections for ninth grade for core academics still are based off your eighth grade teachers' observations and assessments. So if you have questions about those specific recommendations, you should still consider, reach out to the teacher of record for your eighth graders, as well as work with the eighth grade counselors at those schools. In addition to that, it's important also to mention you'll have access through our Genesis system to choose the electives that we went over tonight, as well as selecting the world language offerings for your soon-to-be ninth grader. So the details of all of these offerings that we reviewed tonight will be available in this presentation, as was mentioned, but will also be available in the program of studies, which will be posted on the district website. and also go over a lot of specifics on all of the programs that we offer here. We will also share details on opportunities for your students through our 8th grade transition program, which Vice Principal Flacker will speak on in greater detail next. Above is a curricular review of offerings that we discussed this evening that come together to complete a schedule for all 9th graders. As mentioned throughout this presentation, these offerings will not only meet graduation requirements, but also help prepare students for success well beyond high school. In closing, I look forward to getting to know you all in the coming months ahead, and thank you for your time. And again, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any specific questions. Now, without further ado, I'll introduce Vice Principal Flacker.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Jim Flacker. I'm going to be the 9th grade vice principal for your children next year. I appreciate the opportunity to come and introduce myself. I'm really looking forward to getting together with your children later in the spring as we move on to the next phase of our transition program. We're going to invite everybody back in the spring. We'll be here for we call it the 8th grade orientation. Students will come and they'll hear from some current students. They'll learn about the experience here, and then we'll also have a club fair and an athletics fair to get to meet their coaches and some of the other clubs to introduction to. As part of the transition, we also have a tour program throughout the summer. We'll have dates available where you can sign up for tours of the building. Your children will be able to come and see the building, learn their way around, and again, hear from some of the peer leaders who volunteered their time to come and introduce the building to everyone. And then the big event is the 9th grade orientation, which we always hold the day before the first day of school, so at the end of August usually. As your children will come, they'll walk through their schedules. They'll have their schedules by then. They'll see their classrooms, and they'll even get to meet their teachers. Make sure by that point we'll have handed out all the Chromebooks, and everybody will be ready for the first day of school. We'll also pick them up and bring them here. We'll run the buses. They'll get used to their bus routes as well. So I just wanted to just say a couple of words. I know coming into this building, walking in through the main entrance could be intimidating, maybe especially if you're 13 or 14 years old. It's a huge building. You're worried about finding your way around and all the other fears that may come with that. I promise you they are going to know all of the secret ways around and all the things that the rest of us don't really know about within the first couple of days. They navigate this building very quickly. The size of the building is actually our greatest asset. No pun intended, I guess. Having such a big building is what provides us the opportunity to have so many of these amazing programs that you heard about today. We need space and classroom size for all those wonderful programs, the Culinary Arts Kitchen, the Music Tech Lab, all the specialized stuff we have. So having a building this size and having this many students provides us all those opportunities. Really this is where, this is where our program shines. All the elective offerings, all the different things that they get to try. I want to encourage them to try new things, explore their interests, and dig in. Whether they want to study culinary arts and that famous kitchen and all those photos, woodshop, robotics, genetics, aerospace engineering, marine biology. There's so many different real opportunities for students to learn about themselves and about their own interests. They learn how to solve all kinds of different problems, and they can discover their own passions. This is just the beginning. They come through these doors. I know we've talked about coming from 4 different middle schools and lots of different communities coming together. When they come through these doors in September, they are warriors. We're all one. We are all warriors. So thank you. Again, I'm happy for the opportunity to introduce myself. Next, I'd like to introduce Ms. Fallon.
Good evening. The good news is I'm your last speaker, and I'm the Director of Curriculum and Instruction, and as that role in this district, I hope you all learned some new information about the academic, athletic, and artistic opportunities for your soon-to-be high school students. It's great to see some familiar faces and to welcome some new people who are thinking about sending their precious children to us. The principal asked you to have one takeaway. Because I'm the Director of Interdisciplinary Learning, I'm going to give you 3. I know your kids are probably waiting anxiously, and they're going to ask, what did you think of the high school? So number 1, first, please know we seek to inspire all our students, not just to become good students, but we also are very intentional about helping them become good people. Secondly, as the principal reminded us earlier, the entire PowerPoint will be posted on our website by next week. And finally, the entire administration team, as you heard over and over, please contact me, please call me, please email me. We are all available by email and phone, and we do really process and try to get back to you within 24 hours. Because we're in the triple pandemic right now, if it's 48 hours and you don't get a response from one of the supervisors or directors, call me because I will respond. So it has become a tradition. I always close the 8th grade Parents' Night with a poem featuring the transformative power of education, or perhaps highlighting the many changes you will witness as your curious 13-year-old who may dread coming to 9th grade orientation, transitions into your confident 18-year-old who drives out of the parking lot after graduation to meet you and your extended family for a joyous celebration. So if you just close your eyes for a second and think about that little baby who's home waiting anxiously, and then think about, where are the keys, Dad? But tonight, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go into a long poem. I'm just going to close with a quotation from one of my favorite poets, Amanda Gorman, who explicitly explains why we collectively love working with high school students. This is what she says: "But as for the future, I foresee a world which is more creative, more open, more loving, more ecologically friendly, much more honest, and I think a lot of those contributions will be made by young people." Close the quotes. And I would add, many of your talented children, our newest warriors, will continue to contribute to our community and the growth mindset of our teachers, our staff, and our administrative team, with whom you spent 1 hour, hopefully, tonight. Enjoy the next few months, because those of you with older children, like I have, know very well this time will fly. Thank you. Thank you very much. We really look forward to seeing you all, and we hope you have a great evening.